my name is Vinay. Welcome to my channel, Aztec Queen. Yeah, this is gonna be another story time. I'm gonna have like 3 to 5 story times. I'm not sure which ones I'm gonna upload to YouTube, but I have a bunch that I want to talk about. So this one is about when I used to work at a dental office, and this is like the second or third. This is like the third dental office I worked for. I'm not gonna say the name or the name of the people because I still respect people, you know. So this is the experience that I had at the dental office. Ignore the background. My husband's taking a shower. So let's start. So this happened in 2016 before I moved to Riverside. I was working at this dental office. I got hired as a front office dental assistant, and in the beginning it was going to be 3 of us besides the doctor. So it was going to be 3 assistants. It was going to be me, this other girl named Flor, and this other girl who I'm going to change her name to Jessica. Close to her name, but I'm not going to get rid of her name because I know she's on YouTube too, but I don't give a fuck. I can't stand her. Fucking hate her. Sorry. She, I hope she fucking sees this. Okay, back to normal. So she is older than me for sure. I think I was 25 and she was like 30. And she had like 2 kids at this time, and two little girls or something like that. So this plays in the future. So this is going to come relevant in the future. So I get hired, Flora gets hired, Jessica gets hired, and so it's us 3 and a doctor. Really nice doctor. Very Christian, but I don't understand why this happened, this situation ever happened. So I start working there, and I'm going to school, and I let go of the girl named Flora, the older lady. She was very, very sweet. I really wish she would have stayed instead of the other girl. I really liked her. She was really sweet, but she ended up taking another job because this job didn't offer her enough. So I ended up being the full front office because me and her were sharing the front office, and she ended up just not doing that. So it ended up being just me and Jessica and the doctor. So at this point, I had already a lot of experience doing back office dental assisting and some front office. So I was just trying to stay front office because I was going to school at that time, like full-time school, full-time work. And I was really hopeful because I've been wanting to find like a stable place to stay because almost every like place I worked, they overworked me or they took advantage of my effort. Like when you work really hard, you expect to be like recognized and I don't know, like treated with kindness or something, you know. And almost every job I've worked for, I've been overworked or abused because I'm so willing to work hard and keep and work a lot, you know. But that's what happened in this one. I ended up staying there for a year. I suffered for a year. So where it starts is with this girl. It just ends up being me and this girl within like 2 weeks. And I just remember that she thought she was, I don't know, like, she was very open, like, hey girl, what's going on? So, this is how it starts. So I remember like the first incident with her that kind of threw me off, and I'm like, what the fuck? I remember I was at break and I was eating some chips, and like she just comes behind me and just fucking sticks her hand in there and starts eating them. And mind you, I don't fucking know this girl. I just met her maybe like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I don't know who the fuck does that. I don't know. I don't know her. Like we're in a dental office. I don't know where your fucking hands have been. Like just fucking don't do that. And it was just gross. It grossed me out. And I was trying to be cool with her. Like I tried my best to like ignore the dumb shit that she did to me, but again, I'm so used to getting like used and abused. So I remember that was like the first incident that threw me off about her, and the second one was around like Valentine's Day. I think we went to go. As around that time, we went to Ross together because we're starting to get close. You know, we're talking. And I let her borrow like $75. She bought $75 worth of stuff from Ross, and I paid for it. And she was supposed to pay me back. To this day, I don't think she would fucking pay me back all the way. Like, she just give me, for the whole year, she would give me, like, $10, $2. She would just pull out whatever she had from her pocket, like, $3. but then she would spend a bunch of fucking money like that weekend to go throw a birthday party. So like just for, like I forgot about the money. Like I was like whatever, it's not gonna happen. But the whole problem of this situation was I was the front office assistant, which means there was no manager, there was no like there's no real receptionist. I was the receptionist. I did the whole pay period, so I got to see how much the girl got paid, which is like not fucking fair. I was over here beating myself up for $9, and she was getting paid 17, because she's an RDA, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is not right. Because and this I think I was able to access this after like 3 or 4 months, but by that time, I knew this girl. I already knew I had a problem with her because she was fucking lazy. She was like she would come in late every day, so I would have to clean the instruments that she had to do, prepare the rooms, make sure that the clients, like the patients were ready, the room was ready for the patients. Like I'd prepare everything. So by the time she came in, like she would come in sometimes seconds before the doctor came in, so the doctor would never know that she was fucking late, like half an hour late. So so I remember I would fucking always be doing things for her, like on top of my job, answering phones, making appointments, like everything that a receptionist does, plus whatever her job is. So I would set up, like whenever she was working with the patient and the doctor, I would set up the next room, which I'm okay with that, no problem. But she was so fucking lazy. She wouldn't throw out the trash. Her job was a description. She didn't do what she was supposed to do. I was legit doing her job and my job. The only thing she was doing was assisting the doctor and never picking up after herself, which was like, I'm the front office dental assistant. My job's to be in the front at all times, and I would get in trouble sometimes because I'd be busy, like cleaning up the back. And then one day I decided to organize the whole like front to make it more efficient for me to do my job. I found a headset and I started using it, and I remember getting praised for it. Like, oh, I'm so happy. Why? Because I get to do more work while I'm away from the front. I don't have to answer the phones. I don't have to run and answer phones. So I was just multitasking, which it taught me a lot. But still, at $9 an hour, working hard working hard is not a problem, but picking up somebody else's lack of work is not cool. Especially when they're getting paid 17 and I'm getting paid 9. It felt like it just feels horrible. And she had this fucking routine of being late, or she would just fucking clock, like her 15 minutes, she would just leave 15 minutes early, clock out for lunch, and then leave. Like, it was just like, it was so like, I don't know how the doctor never saw that. And then she would take stuff from the office, and she would take like whitening stuff to whiten your teeth without asking permission. I'd be like, did you ask the doctor? She'd be like, oh yeah, I did. And I know for a fact she didn't, because the doctor was stingy as fuck. Like, I know the doctor didn't fucking do that, but I'm like, I don't care. None of my business. There's cameras. I'm sure the doctor will see whatever she's got to see. I'm not fucking getting in the middle of this. And I think it was fucked up that I'd be working really hard. The doctor would be in her office, and then the other girl would be in her break, and they'd be on Facebook together or Instagram. I don't know. I think it was Facebook together, talking to each other with their Facebook, while I'm over here fucking working hard, and this girl already passed fucking 15, 20 minutes of her break, and I'd be like, okay, I need my break too. Like, it's my turn, you know? Like, I just got so fucking used, and how do you, like taking advantage of. And, like, I just remember I had no balls to tell a doctor, hey, like, I remember one time, I think around the 5th month, I was like, I think I'm going to be leaving. She's like, oh no, why? And I'm like, oh, it's just a lot of work for me. I'm trying to balance school. And mind you, I had to fucking drop school because my class started at 6, and it was not that far from my job, but that's why it was working fine. But I would start at 6, but I would leave. I was supposed to leave my job at 5. But once this girl got used to me picking up her slack, like, I wouldn't leave till like 6 o'clock, so I wouldn't make it to my class, and I'd be late or whatever. So it's like, I had to drop my class. And I would always stay late, cleaning up the instruments, because this girl had to rush home and do whatever she needed to do. And it always happened. And she would call in sick all the fucking time. Like, let's just say I was working late that, like, Friday, and someone had to come in on Saturday with her. Like, usually we're closed Saturday, so whatever emergency happens on Saturday, they don't need me. It's because everything's closed on Saturday, so on the weekends. So they just needed to do their thing. Which is, as an assistant, she just has to, like, prepare trays or whatever. And I just remember she would call in sick, be like, oh, I can't go in. Can you go in? So I would not have sleep from that night before because I was very fucking tired, overworking myself to help finish whatever she didn't finish, and then have to go in the next morning. It's just, it was just so horrible. I hated it. So irresponsible. And then she would throw fits like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not fair. I have to throw out the trash. And I'm like, it's your job. It's your job description. But I always do it. I'm like, that's your job description. Like, do you always have to answer phones? Do you have to schedule people? Like, that's not part of your job description. Your job description is to do back office work. Yes, help me whenever I'm not there, but like, never happened, you know? So it's like, they eventually got her friend to work on Thursdays, because we were all still close on Thursdays. I forgot why we were close on Thursdays. Maybe we were close on Thursdays for back office. I mean, for like patients, but we were open for like just regular. And so I remember talking to the doctor a couple times, telling her that I really wanted to quit, and she would be like, "Why?" And I didn't want to tell her because this bitch is like fucking lazy ass. I'd never want to say that because I didn't want her to get fired because I knew she had two little kids, and like I don't know why I thought about other people more than me, but I should have just straight up told her that she was a fucking lazy ass. But yeah, I made up like, oh, I can't do it, this and that, and like, so they would fix little things here and then she had the boss be like, oh, I'll help you, just stay, I'll help you. And I'd be like, the fucking reason that I'm trying to fucking leave and I can't hang and I can't stand this and I can't like finish my work is because I'm doing your fucking work. Like, just do your fucking work and you'll be fine. And then once in a while I would be like, hey, like I think one time the doctor got mad. She's like, why do you guys leave this instruments like this? This is dirty. And I'm like, I'm the front doctor. Like, I'm answering phones. Like, this is her job. She's like, why? Where is she? And I'm like, she already left. She left at 5:00. Like, she's like, well, why did you cover it? I'm like, I didn't cover it. I didn't cover the instruments. Like, I don't know. I haven't even seen back there. I normally finish doing my job, and then I check if it's clean. If it's not clean, I stay. She's like, oh, she's not supposed to leave. I'm like, go ahead and tell her that, you know? Like, it's not my fault. She's like, well, can you tell her? I'm like, the fuck? Like, she had no backbone. Like, no backbone. So, it was just fucking horrible. So, around the 5th or 6th month, yeah, I think it was around the 6th or 7th month, I'm like, you know, that's it. I'm done. Like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. She was fucking lazy. Like, she would come back from lunch and take, like, another 20 to 30 minute shit. She would be in the fucking bathroom taking a shower, or just fucking wasting time in the bathroom. And, like, it was just, she was just so fucking lazy. And, around 4th or 5th, like, when she was, like, this was the 7th month of me working there. This was the 7th month of me working there. Towards the end, I just remember I told the doctor, look, I'm sorry, I really can't stay. I'm gonna be looking for something else. This is just too much for me to handle. And she's like, oh, but why? Again, I wouldn't say the reasons. I would just be like, oh, it's just, I think, I don't remember what my reasons were. I just remember telling her that I just couldn't handle or I was overwhelmed from school or whatever. And they would be like, oh, but we'll do this. So they tried to fix it and I would feel bad and I would just stay. And then one time, the girl had to go for the weekend. Like, she had her family coming from Mexico or something. And it was going to be me and the doctor for 3 days nonstop. Like, it's just going to be me and the doctor. So I was going to be doing front office, back office. Basically doing her job like I have always done. And it was really weird because when she wasn't there because she was taking her vacation Wednesday, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, those 3 days that, she wasn't there, I had to do her job. It was fucking way easier than when she was there, because she would make a mess and not clean up after herself. So on that first day, the doctor night, I had everything prepared. Like, I just looked at the schedule. We're gonna have this, and this, these patients coming in for this situation, and this situation. So I would have all the trays ready for that situation, and extra in case the doctor wanted to change her mind, be like, oh no, we're not gonna do it now. We're gonna do a crown instead. We're going to try to save the tooth. So I'd have that stuff ready and prepared. And so everything was boom, 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 like so fast. It was efficient. It was easy. I was answering phones with the headset. I was multitasking. Everything was great. And this is how I went through the whole 3 days. It was fucking easy breezy. And I'm like, I wish never came back. I can totally handle this. Give me a little fucking rice. I'll do it, you know? Like, I can do this. And so then, Um, she came back, and of course something happened. It went back to being sloppy and dirty again, the whole fucking place, because I can only do what I can do, and I can't keep track of her stuff, you know? So the doctor's like, oh, this is dirty. Like, I don't know, you guys gotta do something about this. So I'm like, look, when they called us in to talk about how the back is really dirty and how you have to be like more like up and like be more like efficient about keeping that area clean or whatever. I told the doctor, look, when you I'm really good at keeping everything clean, but when somebody else's work is, I just can't keep track of two people's stuff. Like I can keep track of my stuff, but I can't keep track of her stuff. And she's like, well, Vianney, she over prepares. She had the balls to say that I over prepare. She's like, she has everything prepared when clients come here. Like that was her defense. That I'm like, she forgets to do this. Like she forgets to clean the instruments before clients come. Like she just, so then we don't have instruments. You have to wait for the instruments to get cleaned because it's a the cleaner, like the cleaner takes about an hour to an hour to clean the instruments. It's a sanitary thing. So I think I complained about her not having enough instruments to have the room prepared. And she's like, well, Vianney always has all these. She has everything ready. She has everything ready when the patient's there. And then the doctor looked at her like, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. She's like, no, but it goes to waste. And I'm like, it doesn't go to waste because we have to use gloves, masks, suctions, both types of suctions with every patient. So I just use what we're for sure going to use, and then I'll have the instruments that we might use. They're in the baggies, so it's like, it's not like, and the doctor sided with me. She's like, no, you're supposed to do that. And I'm like, and she's like, and we did that when you weren't here, and it was very fast. It was working out faster. Like, it didn't take so long to go look for the instruments. Everything was prepared. And so she had nothing against me besides the fact that I was over-prepared. Which is not even over-prepared. It's just a basic dental assisting, like, job. Like, the fuck? And, so this kept going on until, like, I would say towards the end of that year. I think around November, December, I was just fucking done. But, like, 2 months before that, I found out that the doctor was pregnant. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to give her problems. I don't want Nancy to have the baby because she was, like, 45. So I'm like, okay, she's a high risk of having, like, problems with pregnancy. And I was like, I'm not going to give her any issues. I'm just going to suck it up till she has her baby, and then I'm going to tell her straight up, this girl's a fucking dirty hoe. Like, just a fucking dirty, lazy-ass bitch. So I sucked it up for a little while, and then me and her had conflicts. Like, I was just fucking tired of her being so lazy, and I started calling her out on it. Like, oh, you left this dirty. And she'd be like, oh, you left this dirty. I'm like, that's your stuff. She's like, well, she just couldn't come up with reasons of how I was a bad assistant. There was just not, like, I don't fucking know. But then, I guess the doctor finally noticed that we're not making enough money because it's just a lot of like time being spent cleaning up. It's just hard for me to do my job and her job. So I just remember the doctor wanted more efficiency, and I'm like, look, I'm doing what I can, but I'm also doing the back, because if the back doesn't get clean, she's not gonna fucking do it, and then I had to do it in the morning, which I explained it to the doctor. And I'm like, it'd be twice as much because I have my own responsibilities in the morning that I have to do before the client comes in, and I can't come in any earlier, so it's like, it just gains up on me. And so the doctor ended up hiring this, like, administrator, some lady who trains us how to be, like, efficient in our jobs or whatever. And within, like, 10 minutes, I think that the first day she noticed that the girl was being lazy. But the next day, because she was just watching, the girl just watched how we did our stuff. She's like, well, why are you cleaning it? And I'm like, oh, because, I have to. And she's like, where's Jessica? And I'm like, I think she's in the bathroom. She's like, this is the second time in an hour that she's in the bathroom. And I'm like, oh yeah, but that's what she always does. And she's like, okay, well, have her fucking do it. Knock on the door and have her do it. And I'm like, but by the time that I'm like, but that's a waste of time, because I need to clean this up. The patient's waiting, and she's already been waiting for 15 minutes. So, like, I'll just do it, and then when she comes out of the bathroom, everything will be ready. She's like, but that's not your job. Your job is to be in the front in case they have questions. And I'm like, you're right, but this is not going to get done, and we're going to be running behind it. I have to deal with the patients why everything's behind. And she's like, I remember her, like, handling it and talking to the doctor, no, this is not right, like, this stuff, like, basically she was just taking her notes and be like, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. And by that night, I told her, like, by that day, I was done. By that time, that girl, I'm like, okay, I can definitely, in my head, I was like, I can definitely leave because we have somebody who could take over meanwhile. And I could just leave, like, effortlessly. I'm not going to leave the doctor with nobody in the front. I'm not going to be, like, leaving them in a pickle, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to quit. So I talked to the doctor, and I text her, look, I don't want to work there anymore, and the reason I've been telling you I've been wanting to quit is because this girl's really lazy, and she takes advantage of me, and takes advantage of, like, the time, like, it's not right what she's doing, and the reason I haven't told you is because I don't want her to get fired. I also don't want her to know because she, she's very dramatic, and I don't want any problems, so I'm going to give you my 2-week notice, and I just don't want her to know because I don't want to have issues. I don't want her to know that I'm quitting because of her, because it's messed up. It's kind of sad. I don't want any issues with her, because I already knew she was going to give me drama. So the doctor's like, oh, okay, but is there any way we can keep you? Like, we'll give you $1 raise. And I'm in my head like, how are you going to give me $1 raise when I just told you everything that she does wrong, everything that I've been putting up with her for almost a year, and you only want to give me $1 raise? So you want to give me $10 while you give her 17? No, thank you, you know? So I told her, no, I'm sorry, thank you, but that's it. Like, that's as far, like, right now, I'll stay to train somebody else, but I'm not going to stay anymore. So, I come in the next morning. I'm happy as hell because I'm free. The doctor knows I'm leaving. They know that, like, I have to train someone. We were looking for people. Like, I was so happy, like, that morning. I'm like, yay, I get to leave. And she comes in with the fucking attitude. She's like, comes in and she slams the door. I'm like, whatever, you know? Come doing my work, like, whatever. And she's like, aren't you going to say anything to me? I'm like, good morning. Like, what do you want me to say? And then she's like, well, I heard you're leaving. I'm like, oh, yeah, I quit. This is my 2-week notice. I'm going to train someone and then I'm going to leave. And she's like, well, I don't like the fact that you told the doctors because of me. And I'm like, first of all, that's so unprofessional from the doctor to tell the girl that I quit because of her. If I kept it, I think that I was the only fucking professional person in that fucking office. Like, I swear. But, she told her. The fucking doctor told this girl, and this girl gave me drama in the morning. She's like, why'd you fucking tell her that? That's not fucking true. And I'm like, it's true, you're lazy. Look how, I'm like, you were supposed to be here at 8. It's 8:30. The patient's gonna be here at 9. You have to go, like, get all that stuff ready. Like, just because the doctor gets here at 9 doesn't mean you can be here at 9. Just because the patient's gonna be here at 9 doesn't mean you get to be here at 9. Like, what the fuck, you know? And she's like, well, I was running late because I'm like, it's every day. You just got here. It's every day. I'm always here at 8 o'clock. If I'm late, I'm always, like, maybe 5 minutes late or, like, 3 minutes late, but never fucking 30 minutes late. And then, which that changed in the future. But, so then, again, the administrator, the lady that was gonna, I forgot her name, I think it was Amy, she was, gonna teach us how to, so then, Amy and the doctor show up at 9. That's how that week was going when she was showing us the whole thing. So, this girl showed up at 30 minutes late, pissed at me because I want to quit because of her. So she decides to throw a little bitch fit, and she's like, I don't understand, I thought we were cool, I don't respect you anymore. And I'm like, how old are you? And I'm like, aren't you 30? Like, fucking act 30. I'm over here, like, 5-6 years younger than you, being more professional. The reason I didn't want you to know is because I didn't want you to do what you're doing right now, being fucking dramatic. And all while I was yelling at her and fighting with her, all while I'm fucking working and fucking doing all my job and shit. I'm just fucking typing, like, the names of the fucking people, like, getting all my shit, my work done, while I'm having this fucking little drama feud with this girl, ma'am, with this lady who's fucking 30, and I was, like, 25 at that age. Like, I didn't understand. She was having a little bit. She's like, oh my god, don't respect you anymore. Oh my god. And she started crying. And I'm like, look, I was trying to be cool with her. She's like, no, you weren't trying to be cool with me. I'm like, I put up with your shit for so fucking long. You're lazy and disgusting and gross, and you take advantage of people. Called her out, started crying, and I'm just fucking doing my work. And mind you, there's fucking cameras. There's cameras all over the fucking office. So I'm doing my job while she's arguing. And she's like, you know what? The one that's gonna leave is not gonna be you. It's gonna be me. I quit. I'm leaving today, right now. And I'm like, bye. Like, if you fucking leave, that's even better for me. Like, don't fucking, like, hello. And so I'm like, just like doing my like work, and she just like she's crying, and she's like opens the door and then she from the office, and she leaves the fucking office. She goes in her van, which is parked in front of us. She drives out, and she does fucking U-turn. She comes in, barges back in all the way to the back of the office where her instruments are, where she's supposed to be cleaning, instead of arguing with me. And then like 2 seconds later, the pregnant doctor is walking in, and she's like, good morning. I'm like, can I talk to you? She's like, oh. And I'm like, remember I told you not to tell her? Like, the reason I didn't want her for her to know was because she's gonna do what she just did. It's like, what did she just do? I'm like, she just threw a fit. Can you please go in your office and check the cameras and see the little stuff that she just pulled? She just fucking came back in. She was late, and she was fighting with me, and she was crying, and she left, and like dramatically left the office, went in her car, drove around for one, like, did a little U-turn in the little fucking thing, came back in here, and she's in the back cleaning the instruments. Can you please tell me why you told her? Like, this is the reason I didn't want her to know, because she has a lot of drama in her life, and this is her giving drama. Like, this could have been avoidable. And the doctor and I calls us both in there, and she's crying, she's having an attitude, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I'm done. I'm out. I already said my goodbyes. I don't care. She can have her hissy fit as long as she wants. I'm only here. I think it was 2 weeks or 1 week I was going to be there, and I'm out, you know? And, so she had a little bitch fit, and the Amy comes in. She's like, Vinay, where are you? Like, you're supposed to be in the front. Patient's here. I already, like, brought her in. She's like, where's everybody? And then the doctor's like, we'll talk about it later. I'm like, well, yeah, it's fucking 9 o'clock. I'm over here again getting in trouble for your all stupid asses. Like, so stupid. Anyways, the lady, Amy, she's like, what's going on? Like, she was like, she's a very strong lady, like, very strong personality. Like, she's like, what the hell's going on? There is no reason why you guys have to be in the office talking right now. Like, the patient, and I'm like, I get you. I'm that same person. I'm just doing what the fuck I'm told. And, the other girl's still not in the fucking, she's like, where's Jessica? She's supposed to bring the patient in. Like, you both came out. So even though we got called out, the doctor's getting ready, and Jessica's in the bathroom after me calling her out for being lazy and always being in the bathroom. And so I start getting the stuff ready for the patient, because the patient's been waiting already like 5-10 minutes. And I remember like getting the X-ray machine ready, and she's like, what are you doing, Vinay? And I'm like, I'm getting it ready. She's like, where's Jessica? And I'm like, in the bathroom. She was crying. She's not feeling good. She's in the bathroom. I think she's getting herself together. She's like, that's not your job. Come over here. And then the doctor's like, oh no, it's cause she's like, no. And like, I remember the doctor and her were like literally, while I was like fixing everything here, the doctor was like maybe 5 to 10 feet away from me with Amy. She's like, you know, this is not right. I'm ready to tell you what's wrong with the office, why your office is not working correctly, and it's not generating any money, and blah blah blah. And then she's like, Jessica needs to be doing her fucking job. Her job is to be in the, as a back office assistant, and Vinny needs to be in the front. What's going on here? And she's like, oh, well, we just had a little issue, and we're trying to fix it. She's like, doesn't matter. This has to be done now. She's like, have Jessica finish doing the x-rays. Why is Vinny over there? I don't understand. Like, I was like, thank you, Jesus. Finally, somebody who can, like, speak up, because, like, I fucking can't do it, and when I do, it doesn't mean anything, because it's just me complaining. But when somebody else is a professional saying it, now shit gets done, you know? And then she tells Jessica, like, hey, you gotta be doing this. And then she's like, what's going on? What happened? And I'm like, I'm quitting. She's like, what? Why? And I'm like, because I just can't do this anymore. And then I told her, she's like, that's not right. I know that you're the one that, she was on my side. She's like, I see that you're the one that's doing everything all the time. It's not fair. And I'm like, they're not gonna give me more than $1. Like, I don't want just a fucking dollar. Like, that's not right. Like, she's like, so she couldn't. She understood why I wanted to leave, but she's like, don't let anybody fucking step all over you, no matter where you go. And she already knew my soul was dead at that place. Like, there was no fixing it because of the issues that I was going through with that girl and the whatever happened between me and her that morning. Like, it was just, and I told her it's in a healthy environment. I don't feel comfortable. I'm over it, but I just don't want to be here. I'm not comfortable here anymore. She's like, I understand. She's like, but they should be giving you more money and finding somebody else. She's very easily replaceable. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna train someone to come in. And then I did. I actually ended up training this new girl, really sweet girl. And I'm not all about drama, but like here I am fucking telling you my drama on YouTube for the internet world to see. But I didn't tell Myra. I felt kind of like if I tell Myra what's gonna happen to her, I'm like, I was so confident that because I called Jessica out on it and this whole situation happened, that she's gonna learn not to treat people the way she treated me. So then Myra came around. I hired her. We hired her. I put out the post and then we were interviewing people. And she got hired. I trained her. And I think within 2 weeks, I think that's what it was. 2 weeks. And she was around the same age as Jessica. So I just remember I left. I pieced out from there and I was happy and dandy. And I just remember... because I had been working there, some of my family members were still going there. I think it was my sister-in-law. Yeah, my sister-in-law was taking her son, my nephew, and she's like, one day she's like, Jessica's not there anymore. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, Myra told me that they fired her, and I'm like, really? Like, really? Like, is it because she's a fucking lazy ass that can't learn her lessons? And I guess she had the same issues. Myra had the same issues that I had, and she also put up with her for a year with her, and they finally fired her. So I'm like, okay, I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not a complainer. I'm not weak. I just was dealing with someone that's really taking advantage of people. I just don't fucking understand why she did this to me, and she was just taking advantage of me 100%, and I let her, and I'm never doing that again. Like, never doing that again. But I did. Like, not advantage, but I come into situations where I can't really speak up because I have dilemmas that I have to go through, whether this girl getting fired and losing her job and, like, having to, like, it has 2 kids, to, like, the next situation that I've gotten through, too, where I can't speak up was when this girl was fucking being a little extra for my husband. Not even a little, a lot extra, like, trying to get my husband's attention. And I couldn't say anything because we were living on her property, so I'm like, I don't want to get kicked out either. So it's like, those situations always happen to me, and I've learned from them, but I get over things a lot faster, and I happen to say what I have to say a little bit more now. But it's still a struggle because I'm a nice girl until I get my buttons pushed. Because I remember when she was crying, I don't know if she's crying just to get, like, me to, like, be buttered up and, like, I'm like, oh, are you okay? Because I'm that type of girl. Like, are you okay? Like, I think she was trying to get that out of me, but I was so fucking over her shit. I had no feelings for her. I had no soul or any empathy for her, that I just remember laughing when she was crying, and I told her, like, she was leaving. She was like, I'm gonna go. Bye. And I'm like, bye. Like, please go. That way I can stay, you know? And I still didn't want to stay because I didn't respect my doctor at that time. Like, I was worried for her health. I was worried for this girl's, like, kids. Like, I remember there was one time that I had to watch her kids at the office. She had, like, a little toddler and a baby, in a car seat, and the other older little sister, who was, like, 2 years old, she was, like, a toddler. I think she could talk, but, like, she was just, like, sitting with next to her sister, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I watching it? I'm not a fucking babysitter. But I'm telling you, I got so taken advantage of, and I'm done. Like, I was done. Almost every job has done that to me, but maybe I'm just too nice. I gotta stop doing that. But that was a story time of the lazy dental assistant coworker that I had to work with and deal with and put up with. I'm just glad that I don't work there anymore, and I'm glad that they noticed that it wasn't me. I wasn't the problem. Oh, you're a fucking leader. I don't know why it took them a year, but a year later they fucking fired her. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's some people get away with a lot of fucking bullshit, and I'm over here being a good girl. Whatever. But so yeah, that's my story time. I hope you liked it. So that's my story time, and I hope to see you next time.